Through Education 370, my philosophy of teaching math has grown in ways I never imagined. This semester, we have learned about Vygotsky's social-cultural theory. Through this theory, we learned about Vygotsky's zone of proximal development. Through ZPD, teachers are able to provide guidance to their students, which is then followed up by scaffolding. We also learned about Piaget's constructivism theory. Through constructivism, teachers are able to provide a gradual release of learning through concrete, representational, and abstract lessons and activities. We also learned about growth mindset and how it allows for intelligence to be developed through embracing challenges, and by persisting despite your obstacles, it creates a desire to learn. We then constructed what the 5 process standards looked like before going to Ward Elementary School. The first process standard is problem solving. This standard allows students to explore and solve challenging problems through manipulating different materials. While in the field, we use this process standard during our elapsed time lesson. The students were able to use a miniature clock to help them figure out the correct time or the correct amount of time that has passed, depending on the question. The second process standard is communication. During our lessons, the students were encouraged to communicate with their partners when solving a problem while using the new vocabulary that they learned. This supports Vygotsky's social-cultural theory through learning from peers by communicating. The third process standard was representation. In the field, we provided our students with visualization tools such as charts, pictures, and manipulatives. The students were able to use dry erase sleeves to draw and write on. They also used dice cards and clocks. The fourth process standard is connections. In the field, we implemented this standard by connecting the previous lesson we taught on the part-whole model with the new kit model. Lastly, our last process standard is reasoning and proof. Through our lessons, we asked our students to explain how they got their solution and determined whether or not it was correct. It was a nice connection for my brain to learn these process standards in EDUC 370 and by watching them form within a real classroom of students that I was teaching. A way for us to learn how to adapt our lessons for diverse learners within the course and in the field was through assessments. We used formative assessment to check for understanding through thumbs up or thumbs down. And we used summative assessment in the checklist for every lesson. Through the checklist assessment, we made them very specific and thorough so we could determine which areas that the students understood and other areas where they struggled and could use a reteaching lesson. This course has given me so many new tools to use when teaching in a classroom. But the most important tool that I have gained through this course is the confidence to teach math and to quickly adapt my lessons. I never thought I would be able to teach math because I thought it wasn't my strongest subject area. This course has allowed me to see math through a different lens. The more lessons I taught within the class, the more confident I became in my math skills. While in the field placement, I learned adaptability through tweaking and changing our lessons through different approaches when the students didn't fully understand the concepts. I also learned it through having a partner to teach lessons. It was nice to have a partner because we both had different strengths and were able to co-teach accordingly. This course has taught me how to plan a lesson with a group of my peers and to teach it with a partner. One of the challenging aspects was forming a week-to-week assessment to check progress because we had a different group of students each week. There are many different strategies that were used throughout our 6 weeks at Ward Elementary. I learned that it's important to provide many visuals when teaching math and that children learn better through authentic activities such as games that are non-competitive, creating charts to solve their problems, using task cards instead of worksheets, and scavenger hunts. Before taking this course, I thought there was only one way to teach math concepts through practice problems and worksheets. And now I know that there are many ways to be creative and have authentic learning environments in a math classroom. This is my new and improved philosophy of teaching mathematics.